me a second, y'all, because I gotta put this on real quick. Come on, don't disrespect me. Use the Blue Yeti. Let me add all my filters on here. The compressor, gain, and noise gate. Yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so whenever I like to deliver work, I always like to pitch it. Like, I hate just delivering shit, because a lot of the times, like, when you are you know, as an artist, like, you should be making conscious decisions. So you should never just kind of be doing shit for the sake of doing it. At least for me, like, when it comes to design, you know, like, content dictates form, and it's the same that, like, all these ideas really should dictate what you're doing. And so I think one of the big reasons why all these people hopped on, yo, thanks for hopping on. One of the big reasons why I think it went well is, like, I tend to listen to my clients, and then I tend to try to take, you know, what they say, you know, bring it into, like, a realm, you know, like, they feel listened to, but also, like, all of the insight is brought into the creative. You know, the boards just kind of, they work just from paying attention to listening, but some of it too is, I think, me talking through the steps. You know, some things you should just be able to do without, like, an explanation dialogue, and then other things, you know, there should be some dialogue. Hey, Mike Mutuals, I don't know what that means. You want me to follow you back? How's it going, bro? What up, Marcus the Scribe? How you been, brother? Been good, man. Been straight. No, I can't even say that. I can't even say I've been good. I've been alright. Shit, stuff is stuff. You know what I mean? But kind of gotta get through it. How about yourself? How you doing? I'm just waiting for more. Hop over to Twitter. Put my Twitter, right? I don't do a lot of my a lot of the time. I'm just kind of, and I just hope it turns out all right. All right. Oh, Chris, you good, man? I'm glad, man. Are you working on anything new? You got anything you're working on? All right. There's 4 viewers in. So tonight, what I'm basically gonna be working on is, I got a client who has their version of, like, a black Superman. I'm gonna be drawing through that. People on IG, if you want to see what I'm drawing, pop over to Twitch and you can see that very easily. Yeah, and I'm gonna be trying to check in with, you know, both streams, to make sure you guys, you know, really, oh, nice little reflecting light. Yeah, kidding me? I know I didn't leave this on, so this LED light is fire. And I have a brand new desk set up, and that brand new desk setup has, like, a pin wall. I set up all my shit, my camera, Twitch, my phone set up over here on my pin wall. I got my nice light here. Basically makes my setup a million times better. Not at the moment. You don't got nothing on the back burner, Chris? And IG, there's 5 of you guys here. If you want to see what I'm drawing, check out on Twitch. I want to know what you guys are working on too. Would I ever draw Black Fairies? Absolutely. I love fantasy. One of my first, like, loves for fantasy was actually ElfQuest. Yeah. MXW's live. Scanner Malik. Virtualization VR. That's cool. MXW or MX. He's live. Dude. Yo, did you guys like the Yasuke watch party that I did? Was that fun for you guys? I kind of want to do that again. Not with Yasuke, obviously, but with other stuff. You know what I mean? Other things. You feel me? Feel me? Oh no, not an artist, but I work with a few artists. That's cool. So you're a writer. You got to be writing something. Black Fairies, yes, I would draw Black Fairies though. All right, let me actually in my workspace. I don't have my face in my workspace, but I don't know if that really matters. I know this one thing, it slows down my CPU until I get a brand new one. I'm writing a manga. Okay, dope. How many pages are you in, or is it mentally written in your mind? All right, you know what I am gonna do is I'm probably gonna turn off my computer audio, and the people on live, you guys are just gonna have to hear silence, and then I'm gonna pull up on my desktop audio here. Yeah, I'm actually excited to draw this thing because I have a bit of a direction that I really want to go with. It's mentally written, yeah. I feel you on that, Doug. I got a lot of mentally written mangas myself. I mean, but I say that, but I also have a Google Docs with like 4 different world building documents. 4 different world building documents, a bunch of outlines for chapters and stuff like that, and then character bios and breakdowns. So, you know, I have some things mentally written down, but then I do have some physical stuff. I might have been bullshitting a little bit on that, you know. I do have some things written down. Honestly, Google has been like one of the biggest drivers for a lot of my writing stuff. You know, it's just like it makes it so much more kind of accessible, you know, to be able to do. When I get some time, I'm gonna get writing it. That's good, man. Writing out what you already got in your mind takes so much time. It really does. You know what I also do? When I'm waiting in line or I'm doing other stuff, I have a dictate on my phone. So I basically like talk to my recorder and it dictates all the stuff in writing, and then I can copy and paste things over, which is fucking crucial. Because sometimes it's easier for me to say it because I have dyslexia and I have a really hard time like actually writing. I mean, I think the writing for Duelist, this little secret comic I had for a long time, was okay. I go back and reread it and I'm like, if I was a newcomer to manga or anime, I would like this, you know? Or even if I was someone who'd been reading a lot of things, I'm like, it feels tropey, but it's fun, it's enjoyable. I never thought to use Google Docs. Thanks for the info. Yo, Google Docs is crucial, right? My pitch is on Google Docs. You know what? Anybody want to get a quick look at my pitch? If you want to get a quick look at my pitch on Twitch, hop in the chat and I want you to write something in the chat. There's 6 of you guys viewing right now, and there's 6 people on IG. So if you want to hop over from IG to Twitch and you want to see what my pitch looks like, I'm going to pull it up in Google and show you what's the dictate. Like I use a recording app that also like transcribes, you know, like what I say. So if I go, Everett walks into a room and she sees her brother and then immediately slaps him, it you know, I dictate it to the recording app and then it transcribes everything. So if you're willing to share it, I'd love to see it. Yeah, I'm not honestly I'm not worried about people like copying shit, you know, that I do. Like, first and foremost, people do that shit on the internet all the time, and like my ideas for the stories that I want to tell, they're all over my page, so it's not a secret, you know what I'm saying? As much as people would like to be like very like, oh my god, my thing, my project, like, you know, as long as you can show where you had first contact for this thing, then you're good, you know what I mean? I only see 2 people in the chat though. Same username? Yes, it is the same username. London Marianne, hey, what's up, Mike? How to deal with coming up with storylines and arcs, or seeing what's done already? Wait, let me reread this now. Like, I think you're saying how do you deal with coming up with storylines or arcs and end of seeing? First and foremost, man, one of the easiest ways to like come up with shit is to constantly be watching and consuming stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you have the name of the recording app, can I get it? Yo, honestly, Chris, just DM me on IG, and because it's on my phone and I'm going live, so it's hard for me to do it right now. What was I gonna say? How do I deal with it? First and foremost, like, you got to be a consumer, right? Like, you have to be consuming shit, and the more you consume stuff, the more you get hit with inspiration. So, you know, for me, like, I'll be watching something that I enjoy, and then I'm inspired by it, and then I go, oh, you know, it would be a really dope story if I combined like never-ending story in a post-apocalyptic world, you know what I mean? And then you start writing it that way. A lot of my stories are character-driven, like they're written around characters. And so, like, if I create a character and I really love its look, then I'll go back to it. I'll start writing things back from that character, right? Like what influenced it, where he comes from, and that also will influence his world and stuff like that. And so, like, you know, I also do something every day, which is very fucking important. Like, you know, I know it's important for people to say they take breaks, but like, drawing is not a thing I really need a lot of breaks from. I look forward to doing it every day. So, you know, like, the more I'm doing it, the more it causes me to like come up, you know what I'm saying, with like more stuff, you know, which is important. So that's kind of like, you know, crucial for me. Drowned HQ, what's up? I'm just gonna call you Drowned. So Drowned's up in here. He's ready to see what the pitch looks like. Who else is ready to hop over to Twitch and see what the pitch is like? Follow me on Instagram, guys. Who's this guy? Familiar Bullet. You know what? Go and check Familiar Bullet out. But you know what? If his work is trash, then just write on that first post, this work was trash. Why'd you promote it on someone else's live? Because that's kind of a sleazy move if your work is not fire. You know, like, unless someone brings you on, they're like, yo, promote your stuff. Not a good look, bro. But if your work is good, then your work is good, you know, then follow that, man. Real quick, Twitch, can you guys hear my desktop audio? Can you hear the desktop audio? Right now I'm just creating another scene for you guys. That's gonna be like my browser scene. And I'm just setting this stuff all up so you guys can see the pitch real quick. Browser. I should call it Watch Party, a Watch Party theme. Browser. Conceited shit, but man, it was really hard to make that shit. I hear the audio from Mob. Dope. Am I louder than that audio? You know, when I came back, all my audio shit was fucked up. Hey King, I'll hop on Twitch. Yeah, go check out Twitch. Go check out Twitch, man. That's where I'm gonna be showing my stuff, showing some pitch stuff. I'm gonna be showing for a second. You know what I'm saying? I might show the animation. I'm feeling good because I'm on early. It's only 11:13. I normally don't get on for another hour. So if you guys can feel the energy, that's where it's from. That and I had a pretty good storyboard pitch today. So, you know. And so this thing, yeah, it's pretty even. I can hear you perfectly fine. Good. You're good. So the ill thing about Google, right? Like, I worked on this kind of pitch situation from everywhere. Let's head back to OBS.
From this moment on, I'll show you the creation of the new world.
you know, thank you guys. Getting in the dope anime vibes. Yeah, I'm a big anime guy, man. Big anime guy. Even though I'm also kind of a big Western comics guy too, I ain't gonna lie, you know. Shit, I mean, like, I almost bought, fuck. I read the first couple of chapters of, I'm having a brain fart, man. The most recent X-Men series, I can't think of it because there were so many things that came, there, like, so many drops that happened simultaneously. It's the X-Men where, like, it's Krakoa. You know what I'm saying? So the mutants have established Krakoa. We know that, like, something happens and takes place like 1,000 years from that point in time, that humans are basically, like, mutants are living like on a farm, and there's like a superhuman race and shit like that. But I didn't finish it, and I saw the trade at I was out like at Barnes and Nobles, and I just saw the trade there, and I was like, man, I should buy it. But I've had the book already, and it's like $50, and I was like, you know, but I could just have it for the artwork. The artwork is fantastic. Yeah, so I mean, I read Western shit too. I'm not gonna lie, I got a bunch of shit. I read a lot. I've been getting into a lot more indie stuff. So like, I have the first bunch of chapters of Excellence in like my specialty boxes. But then I just also bought the hardcover from Kickstarter too, because I just thought it was fantastic. I also only read the first 5 chapters, I think. The first four issues, I should say. Is it the Hellfire Gala or the other? No, so I'm way behind the Hellfire Gala. Like, I tried to read damn, man, it's just been a couple months, man. What was it, like the one where Kitty Pryde is a pirate? I can't think of the names because they're all like blending in my head. But this is before the Hellfire Gala. There's like a whole separate comic of like some of the X-Men going off and then going around the world and finding other mutants, and I can't think of the name right now. And they're basically bringing mutants back to Krakoa because, like, yo, it's like what Ghana did a couple years ago, where they were like, yo, if you are ADOS, like an American descendant of slaves or whatever, or your family's like black in another country, if you come back to Ghana, we'll give you like citizenship. So that's what Krakoa is kind of like. And so I can't think of it right now. The X-Men kind of tie-in for that, I can't think of what that tie-in is right now, but it, you know, it includes like Kitty Pryde, Storm, is it Kitty Pryde, Storm, Emma Frost, and fucking who else, and somebody else. You know, like, the casts are massive, man. So it's like you have to read so much of like the extra notes pages and shit just to see where everybody is, and just like, because now all these mutants are included, all these mutants are being reborn on Krakoa, you know, using like this insane new version of Cerebro that's like giving everybody back their memories and all this shit. It's like, it's a really big event. It starts off really dope. I just got caught up with time and shit, you know what I mean? So I'll be able to finish it. Alright, let's get into this. This is my shading profile.
The Titans will be eradicated.
I'm gonna expand the chat over here. I just need my references over here. Alright, you guys are always gonna see, this is gonna get real old, but you guys are gonna see me wrap my drawings all the time. Tim Floor, what is up? Thanks for joining the chat, my guy, my friend. I actually have music playing for my Twitch people, but I don't want it to clash, so I don't have any music for you guys. But if you join the chat, you got questions for me on IG, just shoot them over. I have no problem going over or just saying some, you know, going back and forth with y'all. Right now I got my reference up with this really swole dude because I'm supposed to be drawing a black version of Superman, but he's not like overly swole, just kind of ripped. What's the One Piece beat called? I will tell you right now. Overtaken. Alright, so how many people on this chat? There's only 11 of y'all. But statistically, one of y'all went to DreamCon. Who went to DreamCon? Out of all the people on this chat. Them long hours, fam. You ain't never lied, bro. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't think I would have it any other way. You know, this is how these are how the great stories are made. You know, not interesting to just have somebody have like a Lena Dunham thing where their family's just in everything. So whatever they do, their shit gets seen, you know what I'm saying? See, oh, I wish I went. Yes, I know. I'm in the same boat. I wanted to go, but I missed the deadline. How about you? Didn't make it. And yo, every year they're like, yo, we got a table saved for you. And I'm like, I want to fucking go so bad, man. It's always something that comes up. Bro, I feel you. I've been struggling. That's good. Struggling is good, man. It makes you tough. Honestly, if you can push through it, there tends to be shit on the other side of it, man. And when you do make it, makes for a better story. Nobody wants to hear you just got it. Motherfuckers want to be like, I had the long hours, I scratched, I did this, I did that. I found the time between time to do it, and you know what? It happened. It happened because I fought for it. It happened because I wanted it. You know what I'm saying? More than anything else. And yeah. You know, you'll get it. Or maybe you won't, but you know, in that capacity. But I tell you this, right? A lot of the characters that I have written and drawn and shit, you know, Sea Knight. Sea Knight. You know what's interesting, right? Let me see if I got this right. Let me see if I get this. Let me see if I get this right, Cam. I've been working on something, you know what I'm saying? Hey. I got a Nightbot like Cameron because every time I show up on his chat, I'm just trying to show some support, say what's up. I get all these shout outs, and then, you know, he's promoting my Twitch stream, and I'm like, you know, always super excited. The first thing I did when I got my Nightbot is I set up a response. That's not a meta response. That is just a response for C-Night art. That's it. That's it, man. We show love and support, man. We're gonna be working on a project together this year. You know, I just got bogged down with some crazy shit, you know, this year, so it's been difficult for me to, you know, follow up with some of this stuff directly. You know what I mean? But you know, a lot of good things can, like, if we're doing story stuff, I got a dude that's like a really ill writer who like was in the writer room for The Witcher, but he's written for other shows and shit like that. He's a great writer, great dude, black guy, you know, sick. So he's a dude that can you know, help us up level all the shit that we're doing, you know what I'm saying? On top of my boy, who is, you know, also kind of an award-winning writer, who basically, you know, when I wrote all the stuff for Black Anime, he did all the editing for it. So he was the one who went through, read all my shit and was like, okay, this is great. What you want to do is you want to set a tone, you want to keep your tone consistent, you want to do this and that. And so he's really solid with that, man. Age of Fimber. All right, hold on, let me go back here. Yokio, love your art, bro. Thank you so much, man. I hope you're still on, so I can give you a shout out and give you a flash. Trying to work on a design. Any advice? Yes, I do have some advice. If you feel stuck, think about juxtaposition. Think about opposing things, right? Give a hot guy a really cold thing. Give a tall guy a really short thing, a small thing. If you're stuck in a design, look at the purpose of it, right? What's the purpose of the character? And is what you creating serving that purpose? Not just about making some cool shit, because then you get stuck when you have to add substance. It's better to start with substance than you don't get stuck. Go to write 45K in more than a month, and I only got 4.9 done. Well, you know what? There's a learning experience there. You gotta write 45K in a month, and you only got 5,000 basically. Well, look at it. There's two ways to look at it. One, you're 10% there. Two, you know, you got to learn your writing situation in which you can actually like sit down and write, make yourself accountable for writing. There's a Clubhouse room that is that. It's like an accounting, not accounting, an accountability room, and it's just for writing. And it's like, you write for 50 minutes and then you talk, and then you write for another 50 minutes and then you talk about what you're writing, and the shit goes on for like 4 or 5 hours. So, you know, find little tools that you can use to keep you going. Like, I do that shit all the time for myself. I need these little tools that keep me going, you know what I mean? So I saw you on had to finish Rick and Morty though. No, yeah, I haven't watched Rick and Morty in like 4 or 5 weeks, so don't spoil anything. I'm excited for it. How long do I draw every day? It depends, man. Some days it's like 2 or 3 hours. Other days, if I get a good day, it could be like fucking 6 hours. Like, I enjoy drawing, so I can sit down and draw all day. Like, I can draw for 12 hours straight, 14 hours straight, if I had the time, you know what I'm saying? So, but I draw with intention to get better, so that's what really helps me get where I am, you know? I'm working on a Superman-esque character for one of my clients. Superman combined with Blue Marvel, combined with Icon, if you will. My boy Cam, I gotta get to what he's saying. Yo, I've been in commission trenches for the longest, just trying to get back to clicks. Yeah, that's crazy. What's good? Yeah, who needs writing advice? There's a dude on my IG who's basically saying, you know, he's in a rut right now because he needs to write 45,000 words, I'm assuming, in a month, and he only has, you know, about 5,000. So he's looking for motivation for writing. That's correct. Do I have a day job? I do have a day job. I am an art director at a digital ad tech agency. I do design work. So something called display media. So you ever see, you know, I don't know, like a fucking Maybelline ad or something like that? You know, any of those kind of marketing approaches to things, I do that for a massive company that owns a shit ton of publishers. So Microsoft will come and they want to create a security campaign. Then my team will create a brand new product that will design something around Microsoft's new security platform that they're doing, or a new security initiative that is happening in the industry. And you know, we do and I'm an art director, so a lot of the times the creative part will start with me and then it trickles down to the rest of my team, you know, which is really cool and stuff. So it's not drawing, but it's design, and I love design. You know, I left the business field to be in design. I was a graphic design minor and a business major, and I love strategy and I love business. I love that shit down to my core. But like just deeper than that is, you know, creativity and shit. Yo, FTO, thank you for joining, man. Thank you for joining the chat, dog. Loving my work. Thank you so much, man. Yo, I've been working on so much client stuff. I had a really sick pitch today. I don't know if people know who Ahmad Best is, but like he did stuff in the Star Wars universe. I believe he was the mocap for Jar Jar Binks. But he's done a lot of shit in Hollywood and people love him. And then Jay Lee, who's also what's this dude's on the show Orville. He's a lieutenant on there, but he's also a writer. He's written for Family Guy and stuff like that. The dude's a solid dude, and I pitched the storyboards to them and it just went off. It was funny. They were laughing at it, like the shots that I picked. And you know, at the end of the meeting, he actually sent me a separate message and was like, yo, well, at the very end he was like, look, man, I want to give you your kudos on the direction. He's like, the cinematography, the shots you chose, the way you there's a technical term for it, but when you change your camera focal lens from front to back, and so you're changing the like blur effect from things in the foreground to the midground or to the background. You know, I was doing a lot of that and playing around with movement and just making sure everything was flowing and the hookups were flowing. And he was feeling it, man. He was just like, dog, like this is good. And I felt the energy, so it's great. I'm gonna let them sit with it for a few days just in case they want to come back to me with any more notes. But it was like all positivity, and then there were joke pitches that were going in, and like that's a good thing when they weren't there to correct. They were there to be like, oh shit, well let's add on to this. Like we could add this in and we can add that in. So it was cool, man. It was very, very good and gave me a lot of good energy, and I was able to go on live early. But you know, FTO nerds, thank you so much, man. Love everything I do. That's I really appreciate that, man. He was Best is a strong dude. Yeah, he is, man. And the dude's, you know, from the 2 seconds I talked to him, you can tell the dude's just dumb smart, like crazy smart. Rack focus. It's more. It has to do more with the millimeter of your lenses and stuff like that, like just the different focal lenses and stuff that I imitate in animation, because you're obviously not using any of it. But when you watch film and you study it, you just kind of you fuck with you're basically recreating, you know, that idea. That's why it's good to study film. Let me jump back over to what Jordan was saying. Well, who needs writing advice? I wrote like 10 pages in 4 hours. Is that a PhD? I don't know if it's a PhD. You might have to hop onto my IG. See. Kat was like, that's awesome. Thanks, Kat. Mike, you're badass at what you do. Thank you, man. Can't wait for my next project. I know I'm hoping to do chapter 1 of Black Flower Blossoms, and you know, I'm working on Black Anime 2 with some of my favorite artists, you know. So yeah, I'm just, you know, eventually we're going to meet about that and get that stuff kind of in order, you know, because I think it'll just make an impact. And that was, you know, really how I got discovered by some of these industry people, was the book. And all I've ever wanted was to really spread that love. And especially if these 2 people I'm working with, like, I want the industry people to know that they exist, and to pick them up and just, you know, like really, you know, really run with that. One of them is Cameron, if you don't know him, C-Night Art. So is animation the focus for you at the moment? I mean, look, storyboarding helps me become a better comic book artist, and the comic book art is to lead into, you know, sequential storytelling, which is potentially animation. You know what I'm saying? So if I have to skip the step of the comic or go back to it while I'm more established, then yeah, I'll do that. But I think at some point I do want to I do want to write comics, because they're so freeing to be able to do, and there's not a lot of bureaucracy and not a lot of insane money behind it. But if I get good enough to direct, I want to fucking direct. Like, you know, I got to show this stuff to another dude. His name is Justin. He's doing, well, it was announced, so I can talk about this, but he was producer for Star Wars, the New Visions or whatever it's called, and he also had his own show on Netflix or whatever, and he's kind of been a resource for me to be able to go to. But I want to show him both of my things and see his thought processes on, you know, my ability to direct, because he said that, he was like, you know, if you get your pitch with them and it gets picked up, just make sure you spin yourself into a director spot so you can direct on some of this stuff. I think that would be good for you. And I was like, oh man, I really felt good about that. Like, anyway, to talk. Yeah. So, okay. So you're like changing distance between vanishing points to change the focal length. Yeah. In some of these shots. Exactly. Chris, what up? Calco facts. Gotcha. That makes total sense. Dope way of going about it. Have you reached out to Rocket Boy Art? I haven't. He's doing his own thing. Like, there are certain people who are just, you know, they're in a whole other stratosphere. So, you know, because like I wanted the book to be done with 4 people, like myself and 3 other people, but I'm having a hard time finding a 4th person that, like, I trust their work ethic. I really love, like, you know, I trust their work ethic because I know them personally, and trust in their skill set, you know. And that's always a fear, because I'm going to be taking a massive part of the risk of this project, and that's you know, that's by nature. I want to do that, but in order to amass a massive part of this risk, I really got to trust, you know, what somebody's coming to the table with. Nailed it. You created your own style. This is FTO Nerds. You created your own style and it's going to create something brand new. That's what I want to happen. Do you know what happened to Primus 7? Primus 7 is still running. It's going to happen. I'm not a part of Noir Caesar. I just love, you know, these black businesses. I love them and I support them to death. So, you know, if it ever looks like I'm a part of their company and because of the way I'm supporting them, I just fuck with them. They're black people. I want them to win. So I think I'm a great role model. Look, man, I fuck up all the time. So I fuck up a lot, man. Headed out. I love you, Mike. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, dog. Really do. Being awesome. You know what? I don't take compliments very well, man. But if I'm awesome, I'll try. Do it, bro. What's going on, bro? How's everything? Everything is everything, man. Everything is everything. I'm trying to keep going. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to, you know, live in memory of like my family and stuff, and you know, just keep it, just keep progressing, man, and keep trying to be positive to a degree. Like, you know, I listened to a Black Ramen podcast, her live today, or their live today, because it's a group of people, and you know, she was just like, yo, like, you know, watching a live, man, I wish you would go live more, because it's inspiring me to draw again and pick up the pen, and like, that's just important, man. It's so important. And I didn't reach out to Rocket Boy. Okay, I'm building something in the dark right now, but when it launches, you'll know. All right, I'll keep an eye out. I will keep an eye out. Playboy King, what up? Gotta go work. All right, do what you gotta do, man. What's good? Tropic Red Manga. Alright, I'm gonna be drawing for a second. You know, because this is some client work. Now, because I don't know what my hand looks like from the bottom like this, real talk, I probably should look at a reference. But because I'm sketching right now and I'm probably going to make changes later, I'm going to let it cook just based off of using a bit of perspective. And I want one hand forward and one hand back. Yeah. We're gonna see how this plays out. Always trying to change my art style. There's a lot of art in Photoshop. You know what, man? Changing your art style is not it's really hard to do, dog. It really is. It's a real hard thing to kind of like to take on. Because realistically, you know, if you're really changing your style, like really changing it, you have to be copying like multitudes of different, and I'm not talking about like looking at them and then trying to draw like it. I'm talking about tracing over that shit. You have to be tracing over different kinds of work so your hand can really develop an understanding and move differently than it already is. It's a really hard thing to do. You know, I've been trying to change my style for years, and part of it is like I haven't taken the time out to devote to style change. You know, and that means like really copying art and then seeing what works for me and then mixing and mashing the different art styles. You know, like I can see influences of art in other people's stuff and see like where they took like the eye shape, or you know, the general shape language, right, from their favorite artist or whatnot. You know, but it goes to show how well they studied it, because they were able to really break it down and make it something their own. Not gonna lie, whenever you're live, I gotta get up and draw. You better get up and draw. I want it to feel like when I'm live that I'm that person standing over your shoulder like, yo, get this work done. If you're not following me already, I gotta do a reset, as they say, and let you guys know, like, yo, if you're not following, hit that follow button. If you got Prime, if you have a Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe for free. You get sub for free. That supports me doing these lives and working on this client work here. You know, I'm gonna try to do 2 sketches for my clients while I'm on chat. And the preliminary versions of this has already started now. I like the anatomy for this already. I would go back in and do like a lot of putting extra things in and then wrapping these little stuff. But the great thing about this guy that he wants is he doesn't really want him, you know, super swole. So that really helps me not have to go OD with the muscle structure. Because I just get tired of using the same type. Live art, Photoshop. Line art with Photoshop. Yeah, I mean, that could help. It would really help. You know. Yeah, there's been a bunch of new people who've hopped in the chat, and I've been a little, I'll say selfish, if you will. I haven't asked how my chat is doing. How's everybody else doing? And first and foremost, thank you for everybody who hit me with a health check. Thank you for everybody who was like, yo, how are you doing? How's it going? You know what I'm saying? Everything else like that. I really appreciate it. Especially in the Black community, I feel like we should be doing more health checks. You know, on the homies. I have to switch to a pen because now I'm going to be adding detail in here. We should honestly. No, Michael, whenever you smile, it lights up a room. You have a nice smile. We should honestly. Hey man, I appreciate that. You don't gotta add the qualifier no homo, man. We don't, you know, we're secure with our sexuality over here, bro. And I appreciate that. I think some dude called me handsome earlier. You know, I appreciate it. You know what I mean? But thank you. I appreciate that. Hiking for the first road trip of the year. Yo, it's good, man. Oh yeah, you are. I don't want to put your business out there, but you Your boys. Oh, dude, Jordan, you were just early. You were just early for DreamCon, bro. God. Oh, you're gonna try to set up OBS down there? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh no, I thought you were trying to set up on the trip. I was gonna be like, damn, bro, he's gonna be streaming on the go. Jordan also streams, by the way. I gotta set up a standing ovation thing for him in my Nightbot, so niggas can just be like, hey, all the stream in the week. All right, hella good, my guy. Thank you. It's a lot of drawing. It's a lot of drawing every day. It's a lot of nights of saying like, yo, your work really sucks, and at some point they're gonna figure it out. They're gonna figure out that your shit's not really that good because it's the internet, and there's a million niggas on the internet that can draw. And they figured you out, bro. They figured you out. You don't know how to draw faces. Yeah, nah, bro. You can't draw faces for shit. Your eyes are too close. And your head's too close to the body. Let's do this. Let's look at Valzad. And that's a black person. Thinking about Pokemon Unite and mobile fans in the chat. The later it gets, the vibes are gonna change though. I warn you. We're gonna get into some fucking John Wick, you know, club shit. Cause I need something that's gonna get my head bumping and me getting just like moving. Fuck that, hold on. I type in icon and it's like, just black people getting our respect, man. Thinking I'm about to go live myself, but I don't want to show my face. Dude, I don't like showing my face either, like real talk. I was gonna make a post that like in order for me to go viral on fucking TikTok, I have to start doing shit where I'm showing my face, and I fucking hate that. But you know, I'm a nigga that does market research a lot, so I knew looking at it, this is probably gonna be the best way for me to like make an impact. So green screen shit, you know, like my art, like, hey, this is my art 3 years ago, this is my art fucking now. Or something where, you know, I'm doing a lot of cut montages, which is not my favorite stuff. So the crazy thing is, I've been thinking about this, and I just been thinking about this shit a lot. Like, so both my brothers who passed away, they never liked taking pictures of themselves. Like Quentin hated fucking pictures of himself. Justin hated pictures of himself too. Like they you know, they just never like pictures of themselves, you know what I mean? Like I feel like, you know, I'm the same way. Like I really don't like taking pictures of myself. Like I also don't want to be in a situation where I leave people that I care about without pictures of me, you know what I mean? Like I'm just looking at pictures like for my brother or whatever, and you start to see a lot of some of the same ones, and you're just like, damn, like we never got enough pictures of each other. We never just did enough shit, you know, with each other and stuff. So, you know, I'm trying to get myself out of that. I think, you know, take more pictures and be in more videos and just like, you know, do more of that stuff, because you know, God forbid something happens, but also, you know, as I become older and my kids look back at my life, you know what I mean? I don't want them to be like, damn, there's not many pictures of, you know, my dad and everything else like that. So, you know, yeah. So, I gotta make a change. All that based off of what you were saying, you know, if about, you know, showing your face and everything else like that. Jordan Spell playlist, Steam Beats, or is a random playlist, Slapstyle, a license tripping on this. Yeah, this is like a random covers playlist on YouTube, and it is anime remixes, full album, and I think it's just a bunch of random, like, you know, niggas doing their trap versions of stuff. Just cool. You know what's really annoying is I have not gotten my alerts to work in my OBS. It's so trash. And I wish I could, like, you know, workshop it with somebody, because my alerts should just be popping up, and I don't want to use Streamlabs OBS because it taxes my CPU. I knew we got the same 5 picks for the last few years, cycling through them. Damn, try and post. Last time was Anime NYC. Yeah, man, like, yeah, gotta make more pictures, dog. Gotta make. This is not that I don't make memories. I just don't take a lot of pictures, man. It's just, you know, fucked. How's your guys' work process or work ethic? You know, there's only one option, is to do it. That's my work process. That's my work ethic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just to do it. So, you know, that's how I feel about it. You know, I don't know, there's no other options, if that makes any sense. Also, you just gotta really want it, man. Like, you just gotta tell yourself, like, yo, this some shit I really want. Like, do you really want it? And if you do, then, like, not much is gonna stop you from doing it. You know? Think about it like breathing or fucking eating. You know what I'm saying? There's there was this story I heard, and this a long time ago, and I used it a lot. This was like right around my Annie Moles kind of time and shit. And dude was telling stories as a guru. He's really successful, and a guy also wants to be successful. So he goes to the guru and he's like, yo, what's your secret? You know, what's your secret to success? How can I be successful like you? So the guru goes to the dude, okay, I want you to come and meet me at the beach at like 6 in the morning. And the guy's like, all right, I'll be there. I'll meet you at 6 in the morning. The guy shows up, he's in a full fucking suit. And he's like, okay, full suit. The guy's like, all right. And when he gets there, the guy's wading in the water up to about his waist. The guy, and he's like, come in the water. And the guy's like in my suit. And he's like, come in the water, man. You want to hear the advice? I'm here. You're on my time. He walks into the water. Him and the guru walk up right around their chest. The guy's like, why am I out here? So the guru's like, all right, I'm going to dunk you underwater. And the guy's like, what? He's like, I'm going to dunk you underwater. It's like, all right, cool. So he's like, just dunk on the water. Dude dunks the dude on the water, and the guru holds him there. Just holds him like he's almost gonna drown him. And the dude like fighting to breathe. And the guru lets him up at the last second. And the guy's coming up and he's coughing up fucking salt water, and he's just like, Jesus, like this motherfucker was gonna try to drown me. And the guru looks at him. He's like, when you were underwater, what did you think about? And he's like, you know, all I could really think about was breathing. Like I just wanted to take a breath. And he said, that's how badly you have to want success. And the story was told better than the way I told it, but I just heard it and I was like, I've watched a lot of people fall short, and it's because they really don't want it. I'm not saying like throw away your life and just be extreme and don't understand work-life balance, but like when you're really tired and you've had a really long day, and people in your family have died, and people are hurt, and all this other shit. And these are the times where the average person, they just slow down and they take a break or they do whatever. And, you know, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that every little bit brings me closer to where I want to be. And like I have to want it that badly, if that makes sense. You know, and like that's where it comes from. Like I just, like you tell me you want an anime or you want to make a show, like what have you done? Do you write every single day? Are you going on YouTube and going on websites and learning about writing and becoming a writer? Are you looking at IMDb or the end of movies and finding writers and figuring out a writer's room? Like what are you doing to do the shit you want to do? Most people, if you ask them that, they're doing nothing. They're thinking about it. And thinking about it is a step. It's your first step, but it should not be your last step. You know, damn, I think my IG froze up because my phone's dumb hot. Give me 1 second, Twitch people. I'm gonna try to get my IG live back. My phone's like, yo, you overdid it, nigga. Let's see if people will jump back on. Let's see if I got the loyalty of the people. All right, it makes absolute sense. All right, let's see what Pipes Cones is saying. True, but I spent a lot of time trying to find the most optimal way to do good, which isn't bad. But recently I've been brute forcing it like I'm bound to improve if I commit to it. Yeah, I mean, you just gotta push through it and just keep doing the shit. Like, you know, I think you should find the optimal way to get better. One of the most optimal ways to get better as an artist is to do study. And study is not fun. There's two ways, like two of the best things you can do to get better as an artist. You can study and you can draw the shit you don't want to draw. And like every motherfucker at any level that I've ever heard give art advice, who's 10 levels above mine, gives the same fucking advice. And it's the same thing that they do. Like a nigga like Saint Chase or Chase Connolly, he's not just sticking to the shit he's doing. He's never really just done that. And that's what has separated him. Ronald Wembley, you know, Edward Chung, like all of these dudes who have gotten to a particular level, they don't draw the shit that they're comfortable with all the time. They're always testing themselves. They're always pushing themselves on something new. And you know, like, I hate drawing people from the bottom up. It's a really hard perspective for me. And why did I choose a client to do it that I'm getting paid to do it? Because it's going to force me to have to make it good, or else I don't deserve the money. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to put yourself sometimes in a position where you bite off more than you can chew to get to the level. We all watch anime. We all anime niggas. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit. Cat, thank you so much for buying a badge. Oh my god, that's my first badge. Thank you, I appreciate that. Damn, hits me right here, yo. Yeah, so like, you know, we all like anime. We all watch the media, and the biggest thing that helps us step our game up is really biting off more than we can chew. And like, you know, that's it. Like, you know, you got to put yourself in those positions. In the art of war, they say, like, when you cross a big river, or you're using a big boat to cross like a lot of water, the statement is to burn the boats and bend the pots. And the reason for that, like internally, like against your own army, you sabotage it from having to have a backup plan. So it forces them to move forward. It forces them to live off the land. It forces them to be successful. And so, you know, in the situation that Pipe Combs was talking about, I'm just gonna call him Pipe. What Pipe is talking about is, you know, brute forcing it and trying to find an optimal way. Put yourself in situations where you're forced to succeed. Pretend you are fucking Luffy. Pretend you are fucking Yusuke Urameshi. Pretend you are fucking Vegeta. You know what I'm saying? You know, put yourself in that person's shoes to like step your game up. Artist support, we got to support each other. Absolutely, thank you. I try to support in the best way I can, whether it's buying stuff and then also doing promotional stuff, also being a resource for new things and stuff like that. I love anime. My current shift at work is inspired by old school Sailor Moon. Yeah, I love Sailor Moon, man. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. And niggas watch Sailor Moon. Niggas watch Sailor Moon. Ronin Warriors does not get enough credit either, which is disappointing because Ronin Warriors was dope. It was fire. But yeah, original Sailor Moon was really, really good. What's another one that I like that's an old school one that this dude, his name's Sanarchy, and he's developed like this real old school 1980 style, like Vampire D combined with Ninja Scroll, combined with like fucking Wicked City, combined with, you know, like, I don't want to say Fist of the North Star, but it's some cool shit. It's really, really cool. I support all y'all. Thank you. First anime I remember in 1994 was Kindergarten and then DB. The new Sailor Moon is supposed to be good too. Yeah, I heard the new Sailor Moon is supposed to be good too, and I want to watch it, man. But oh shit, Tim, thank you so much, man, for buying a badge. I really appreciate it. That's my second badge. Thank you, man. Damn, jeez, I appreciate you guys. You know what's funny? My dad bought me Wicked City by accident when I was a kid. So my dad, the reason why I like my dad's a big DC guy. I didn't get into DC later. He had like a Superman #1, and he, you know, and he does like some Marvel comics, but he leans more DC. If it's like a strong guy, that's his thing. So he liked Power Man and stuff like that. And but he found that I liked anime a lot, and so he was just like, let me just get him some stuff, right? Like, or you know, so he started buying me manga and anime, but he wasn't really reading it or checking it out. Like, he didn't really know what hentai or seinen was. So he was just like, yo, fuck it, let me just get my son some stuff. And so it was me, Todd, Justin, I think it was Quentin too. Like, we're fucking sitting here and we're watching Wicked City and we're like, all right, this shit's crazy. Like, I remember they had the you know, this is the era of when they're painting backgrounds, right? These beautifully painted backgrounds. Artwork is just like, it was so meticulous. And there's a scene where they're like driving up to the city or whatever, and you're like, oh, this city's crazy, and this dude's going out on a date, Oh shit. Hey Chris Bonnet, man, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate it. Damn, man. And also thank you for being dumb active in the chat. Like, my first 20 messages was Chris, so thank you so much. John, what's up? Always good to have you here. Appreciate it. And I'm sitting there watching Wicked City with my dad. All of a sudden this guy's on a date. He's hooking up with this chick, and then her vagina just turns into fucking teeth. And I'm like, yo, mind you, I'm probably in fucking middle school, so I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on? And yeah, like, so the vagina turned into teeth, then her legs turn into arms, and then she tries to eat the dude. And I was just like, I didn't know anime could go that far. You know, at that time, what had I seen? I'd seen a couple different things like that was basically light. So we're talking about like Ronin Warriors, Samurai Pizza Cats, fucking, you know, Dragon Ball, what's that other shit? Dragon Ball. It was kind of light. It was kind of light work. Escaflowne, which is really dope. But yeah, like stuff that was kind of like that, right? And you know, then going from that to Wicked City, and then I also saw like Red Hawk, Blackjack, Golgo 13. Golgo 13 is a little bit more advanced, and I think I saw Golgo 13 after Wicked City, and then Ninja Scroll. And so we had a bunch of VHSs, and my dad would just kind of buy stuff and get me into it. So that old school anime I kind of love, and that's what I was thinking of too. Sanarchy style is really embedded in Ninja Scroll, like his coloring style and stuff like that. High School, that is incredible. I have to check it out. I keep telling myself I'm gonna fucking watch it. I started rewatching Escaflowne again, and I'm like, yo, these mech battles and these fights are insane. Escaflowne fights are absolute fire. Escaflowne fights are fire, and just the way they frame the animation. I have some of my old school sketchbooks here, and maybe I'll put them on stream. And in my old school sketchbooks, you'll see I have like my own versions of these natural mechs that from Escaflowne. But yo, without Escaflowne, well, I won't say without it, but Escaflowne, when it came out, it changed the game for like mech anime and stuff like that. It was a huge game changer. Yeah, it was really off the hook. It's one of my favorites, you know, by far. What's John saying? LOL. Not the type of combo I was expecting today. Yeah, we're talking about old school anime while I'm drawing a black version of Superman in someone else's comic universe. Yeah, we got into Wicked City. Wicked City came up. But that's like the only type of kind of like, I don't really, to be honest, I don't really read ecchi. I don't really watch a lot of ecchi. I don't really watch a lot of like hentai. I don't really watch it at all, really. It's not really my bag, you know, but I see why people like it. You know, the earliest forms of porn was actually fucking was artwork, so you know, it makes sense. Junji Ito collection is really good. Yes, I need to read stuff from Junji Ito. So I know that everybody's like reading Uzumaki, and I looked it up and I kind of want to read it, but I know there's a bunch of, you know, stories that he has that are like fantastic. You know, Outlaw Star super slept on. It absolutely is. I only saw a couple episodes of Outlaw Star and I loved it. Oh, I didn't say Tenchi Muyo. What the fuck was I thinking? Yes, Tenchi Muyo, the classic. Yo, these are the animes outside of the purview of like the goats that everybody knows, right? So, you know, obviously like Yu Yu Hakusho's up there. Hunter x Hunter before 2011 is up there for me. All that jazz. I saw those later, but they're like, I saw them like more in high school, but they're still goated for me. But things that people don't talk about all the time, like Tenchi Muyo was fucking dope. I love Tenchi Muyo, man. It was fantastic. Yeah, Tenchi Muyo definitely had the shorties. Did I enjoy the style of Elfen Lad? You know what's interesting? I never got a chance to watch Elfen Lad. And there was a woman my dad was talking to at the time, and her two kids, one of them passed away, but the eldest one, Ron, he was really into anime. He was like one of the deep cut dudes. He had a hard time in high school kind of thing, hard time in middle school, high school kind of thing. And but he was the one who showed me Valkyrie Profile and like Elfen Lad, but I never had a chance to watch it on my own. And because I'm working so hard to break into the industry, it's so hard for me to watch some of these things. But I need to go back. Tenchi, yes, Tenchi. Great love for Tenchi. Outlast Star is great. Kat, you'll have to throw out some of your more anime suggestions too. For you guys on the chat, I am drawing on, for you guys on IG, I'm drawing on Twitch, and I'm gonna draw these craters, and I'm gonna do some drapery for this character before I jump over to a whole other sketch and try to do another sketch some more for another client, because I want to get 2 solid sketches done, you know, this evening. But if you got questions on IG, pop them in here. If you got questions on Twitch, you know what I'm saying, you can hop over to Twitch too if you want to see what I'm drawing. Yeah, so my badges are up, as you know, Kat has shown again, man. I'm just really floored by the support, so thank you guys. Be quiet for a second while I comment. Yo, this is a new playlist, by the way. It's all for it's all One Piece stuff. Careful with tangents. It's like amateur shit. How you lose jobs. You know what? I'm gonna start this curve inside here and bring it back. Oh shit, Mike said something. I just totally forgot my niggas on here. My boy Mike Cognata's on here, dog. Yeah, I don't think he realizes how much he inspires me. It's crazy. Just so many demon tentacles. Yeah, they were a ton. They were a ton, man. Good City was crazy. Do right every day. Thanks, Mike, man. I wanted to read your chat further up. He you know, I definitely get inspired by, like, yo, this dude went to New York, was first in Boston, where niggas don't really recognize people in Boston like that. And then he came out and you know, then he came out and fought hard to try to do acting there, right? And then after doing all of his acting there, you know, hitting, I would say, like a ceiling of what Boston can provide you, because a lot of people look past Boston, went to New York, got acting gigs in New York, and hustled his ass off, did a bunch of different spots. Like, you know, this is a dude that, you know, really fought hard to get into the industry, then move it out to California, you know, away from the East Coast, away from some of his family, still fought hard, and then was able to make it to shows that I know people, you know, have watched. And, you know, I just remember talking to him how difficult it is to, like, do a lot of this stuff, and it's really difficult to break in. And, you know, he really did it. You know, it was really crazy to see him on Chicago Fire. Really crazy to kind of see you in Shameless, man, and just kind of like, it's really incredible, you know what I'm saying? And if you wanted to stop today or fucking tomorrow, what you've done is still just very, very, very incredible, man. And, you know, keep being an inspiration, Mike. And now Mike makes music, and his songs are on my playlist, or might be is on my direct playlist, so I probably listen to this shit like once or twice a day. So I'm keeping that listening strong, man. Cool says he is a voice actor and will like my opinion on what males or what makes a good voice acting performance. I'm not a voice acting coach, so I am a civvy, like a civilian, like everybody else when it comes to voice acting. And the thing that connects with me when it comes to voice acting, you know, whether I'm watching sub or dub, is the emotional context. Like, I feel like whether it's the director who's like directing it for the writing, and they're just not, you know, like some of it sometimes falls flat and it's just not, you know, catching with it. I think the difference too is, like, you know, sometimes the dialogue is overly written for Americans when you read a sub, you know, and like sometimes, let's say you run the subs with the English and you see that it's different, and the English version is just written weird, like it just doesn't even sound right, like out loud, but the written version actually sounds better. And sometimes it's not, you know, the voice actor's fault, it's like the writing. But it's like, you know, the emotional context, is it connected right, you know? But like I said, I'm not a voice acting coach. I'm not a person who can really critique voice acting, you know, in that way. So I would say you got to connect with, you know, somebody like Gabe Akunda, or the dude Childish Zambino, the dude who's done some stuff for Noir Caesar and shit. Like, I'm sure he's mad helpful and stuff like that too, you know? Love One Piece, definitely inspired to get into manga and making one. I tend to really like Superman-esque characters more than actual Superman. It's true, because I think Superman was he's the mold, and then like it's hard to get interesting. You know, like it's hard for me to find Superman interesting. His humanity, you know, is the thing to play off of. But like Superman's like, he's like, you know, he's supposed to be the strongest man on the planet. You know, he absorbs enough yellow sunlight radiation, and then they gave him like something called a solar flare a couple years back, I think, for not New 52. What was before New 52? Because I was one of the rare people that liked New 52. Can't remember through all the different crisis events, but yeah, so you know, at some point they gave Superman a solar kind of flare thing, but like Superman is like he's like the white guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're a white dude, and like Superman is like, that's like that's your guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's all powerful, all in control of everything. It's just Zeno Robinson is the name of Childish Zambino. But yeah, I don't know, it's kind of boring to me, like, oh, like his humanity and blah, blah, blah. It's like, I get it, man. Like, you could either go two ways. You have this strength to do whatever the fuck you want. And so you think to yourself, like, as long as me and mine are good, like, I can be a good guy. And that's really Superman. Like, as long as you don't fuck with his family, like, you know, Lois Lane, Jonathan Kent, like, he's cool. He's gonna be as human as the next person. But as we know from Injustice, the moment him and his feel the effects of all that other shit, he's no longer human. He's fucking Kryptonian, and he would put everybody in their place. You know, like shit like that. Like, Injustice was good. Injustice and Injustice 2 are really good reads. You know, I mean, but even in those parts, like my favorite parts of those stories is, I don't care if I spoil it. It's been out for a while, but like, Damian Wayne. Kills Dick Grayson, which is basically Batman's first son, like his oldest son, and is Damian's brother basically. And Damian keeps that shit with him like the whole time. He like keeps it in his heart. It's like it's crazy heartfelt, and it's hard because then he doesn't feel like he can, you know, really face Batman for what he's done, and you know, obviously, you know, breaking the kill order and then who it's against, you know, the no kill rule. It's just, you know, my favorite parts is, you know, Batman rallying the small level of people, the death of, you know, Green Arrow and stuff like that. That's an interesting story to read. You know, Superman fans. Yo, thank you, fam. I appreciate you. However you work at night to me. It's all reciprocal. I think so, man. I'm so excited. How have you liked the Invincible inverse of Superman? I fucking loved it. You know what's funny, right? I have an account at Midtown Comics, and so I was in there. This was a minute ago. This is before the pandemic, obviously. Might have been like 2 years ago, some shit. And I'm in there, and someone's like, "Yo, you gotta read Invincible." I'm like, "Man, I don't want to read that shit." I'm like, "It's like it's a lot of DC ripoff stuff," because I had seen it, and I thought it was just kind of like a lot of DC ripoff stuff. And so to myself, I was just like, you know what? I really don't want to like get into that. I've been, and like these events were getting so big, and it's so hard for me to keep track of like everything that is happening in the DC and Marvel universe. So being a fucking nerd, and I was like, man, I want to read something different. That's why I pick up other shit like Eugenics, or was it called Eugenics? I think it's called like Eugenics or something like that, which was a really dope comic, and I actually never finished it. I think I got like the first 4 issues of it, but basically this scientist, and I get it makes sense that part of the narrative. So it's this queer scientist, and like a pandemic happens, and then he ends up like it's like some pandemic ends up happening, and then like people end up being infertile. So he's like, hey, I'm gonna give you guys an injection so that way you know, you'll be fertile again and stuff like that, and the human race can continue. But what he did was he like added a resequencing code, so no child will like look alike, and no child will like Frank Miller turned me. Yes, Frank Miller is always great too. You know, Nightfall is like, it's fantastic. You know, Frank Miller has a he has a I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Frank Miller. He has a this really cool occultist comic, and I haven't read it yet, but Comic Book Girl 19 brings it up all the time, and I gotta check it out. But in the eugenics comic, put this resequencing thing in, so no kid's born the same, but they're all born like wildly grotesque, but they're like superhuman. So like they live longer, they have less vulnerabilities, they're stronger, they have better bone density. Like all in all, they are an evolved aspect of a human being, except they're like, a dude will have a mouth right here and an eyeball right here, and like his nose will be right here. Like all the features will be disjointed, right? And but every new human was born like that. So now it takes place like, you know, let's say like a bunch of years in the future, and more of these like newer looking humans, right? They're the ruling class, and then you have the other humans, the first base humans, and some people who were able to have kids again were able to have regular humans like you or I. And damn, gotta read it. Yo, it's wild as fuck. But what ends up happening, right? Here's the wild shit. This is what caught me when I was reading the comic, because I saw the cover and I looked at it and I was like, all right, let me just buy this shit. What fucked me up and got me into like going to Midtown to get it and get those first couple issues, the next couple issues, is that the scientist inoculates everybody. He gets everybody the shot and shit. And then he does like a world conference, like he does a press conference, and the world's tuned in, and all the top scientists are at the conference and shit, and all the people that helped him work on it are there. So he was the only person who kept the resequencing close to the chest. So he lets everybody know, because then now some of the first kids are starting to be born. And then all of a sudden during the press conference, he locks the room and he fucking gasses it. He kills every scientist who worked on the resequencing genome, and other smart scientists who would have been able to break it down. So then now they're set back like, you know, 50 or 60 years. So that's 50 or 60 years is every new generation of, you know, the next generation of humans on this planet, you know, are genetically look like this. So like he had established this whole shit, and a lot of it came from like him and his partner were having a conversation, and they're married. And you know, it was like a world that they wanted for their kids essentially, and they didn't necessarily want the world that they grew up in, where people were ostracized for being different and looking different and shit. And so he just made the differences so extreme, so you can't just look at someone and be like, oh, you're brown, or you're this, or you're that. Like every variation, and from you or I's perspective, they're grotesque. Like at least their faces are, but their bodies are like regular or whatever. And but yeah, it was fucking crazy, man. And then the next issue takes place in the future, and you're actually following like the main cast. I thought it was really dope. I love reading and picking up indie stuff. So it's called Eugenics. It's a really dope comic. I don't know why I spiraled into that comic talk of eugenics, but it's really dope. Considering alternating between recording the pod and streaming on Sundays. Oh, that's good. Do you like Sunday stream? I recorded for the pod a bit tonight, but I record a little on the day. Are you chatting with me or someone from the chat? Yeah, New 52 was an interesting take on the character. Def not a Sup fan. Too flat of a character. Yeah, like Superman got really robust in Injustice. Like that's real talk. That's where he really came out. And you saw, in my opinion, a lot of interest there. I mean, but I get it. Like I know why people like Superman, because he's representative of like this impulse control, and having all this power and having, you know, whatever. And then when he's not, he also represents like the ferocity of goodness to be good. At least, you know, when there were, you know, so after the Silver Age, and then there was the big ban on comics, and then, you know, Superman and them kind of came back, and then you kind of had, you know, this Alex Ross depiction of like Heroes again, where they were going back to, bro, what's your take on HBO making a black Superman? You know, look, listen, it's not a black Kal-El, so it's a black it's Val Zod, which is a completely different, it's a different Superman from a different Earth. So I'm okay with it because he exists. So like during Crisis on Infinite Earth, so there's two really big Crisis events in DC Comics. There's more than two, but like two big ones that a lot of people know, because it showed you that there were a shit ton of universes or Earths, right? And then it condensed it down to one Earth, and then there was another Crisis event which bam sprawled back into multiple universes again. And then the whole Dark Knight's Metal explores the underside of the universe diagram of these different aspects of it. And there were certain points that I feel like we were promised in Dark Knight's Metal that they don't need to do everybody, that I hope for us to see. But there were moments in it where, you know, the whole thing with Barabbas or whatever his name, Barbados or whatever, Barbados, is that like all of the Dark Knight's Metal Batmans were Batman's nightmare, right? Like what his nightmare would be if things were happening. But then we saw a glimpse of like Wonder Woman's nightmare, Superman's nightmare, you know, and shit like that. So, what was I say? Go back to Crisis on Infinite Earths, right? So when you go back to Crisis, and there's a moment where like a bunch of the Justice Leagues from all over the different universes like connect, and they're trying to basically figure out this, you know, Crisis event. And you'll see that there's an Earth where like all the Justice League is black. In the Earth with Val Zod, no, I'm sorry. There's two Earths where Superman is black. One of which Superman is the president of the United States. And then there's Val Zod, and I think that's where they're not doing like a black version of Clark Kent, which is fine by me. Like I don't need a black version of Batman. I don't need a black version of Superman. Like I know that might get other people into comics and stuff like that. I just would rather us respect the source material of other black comics and jump in and read that. Like that's why I bought Excellence. That's why I really want to get Bitterroot, and I haven't gotten Bitterroots yet. And I've been staying away I've been avoiding it like the plague because I don't want any spoilers for it. But like I support black indie comics, and I want to do that. I want to see a different black person emerge opposed to doing a race swap. And I don't think there's a problem with it. It's just what I prefer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's this DC Future State, which I haven't read yet, but obviously like you could see stuff in solicitations, and you know, was it Tim Fox? No, not Tim Fox. Lucius Fox or something like that. You know, it's supposed to be the new Batman, and they explore that and stuff like that. Somebody told me it was good. I went to a comic book store, and they were like, "Yo, you should read it, man. It's good. It's like this comic book store I'm at." And it's not our first time going there. And they're like, "Yo, man, you should really read it. It's good." And I'm on the fence. You know, I'm on the fence about it. I didn't like the way they treated Duke Thomas. I don't like the Signal. I don't care if he has the ability to see light and energy and kind of can see the future a little bit, like, and they're exploring him being able to have dark abilities and stuff like that. I think sometimes I get sucked into reading shit just because I'm like, I really want to know, like, moving forward, but not a fan of that. I thought that they were gonna groom Duke to, like, and Batman said it, for him to be different. And if he ended up being the Batman, I would have taken that, because I'm like, it was explicitly stated like 40 comic books ago that they were going to do this. And then his trajectory from being We Are Robin and shit, like that would have been a good trajectory. But people are saying that was it Lucius Fox, or it's one of the Fox kids. It's an illegitimate Fox kid too, because you know, like Batwing is because Lucius Fox is working with Thomas Wayne or whatever. His legitimate son, who ended up going off and being a Marine, he didn't want him to be a Marine, came back and figured out you know, Batman's identity to a degree and got in a bat suit and everything else like that he became part of the Bat family by becoming Batwing, you know, like. But this is like an illegitimate kid that ends up being an ex-Batman, and they I guess they explore that. I mean, if it's good writing, then you know, then maybe I'll check it out. A couple people have told me to read it, you know what I mean, but it's like because I don't got that much time, it's a commitment, you know. You got to be committed to these comics and stuff. Someone brought up Cloak and Dagger. Yeah, I mean, from what I know from Cloak and Dagger is any tie-in stuff that I needed to know for the first Infinity Stone saga, you know, because he tries to suck Thanos into another universe and Thanos rips fucking Cloak in half. That's what I know from him. But I tried to watch the series. I do like the series though. Facts, like people want black everything lately instead of source material stuff. I don't think people want black everything instead of source material. I just think that people toss it up, and then some people say, for the most part, I see a lot of people on the other end who are like, they either don't care or they'd rather patronize new black stuff. And then you get some people who are just like I love Fantastic Frankie, and she's like, yo, I feel like people are not gonna read those, and in order for black people to get into the mainstream, we may have to do a race bend just so people can get it. And I get that. And she's not lying, you know what I'm saying? There's some people who aren't necessarily, you know, what I established in my first business is most people are bandwagoners. Most people want to know that something's already trending before they get onto it. And so, you know, that ends up being a huge barrier. So that's where kind of the race flipping kind of stuff, you know, works in that favor. What I would ideally enjoy, you know, might not necessarily be the best route, right? So, you know. Tim, I want to give you your flowers again, man. Thank you again. And Kat, thank you again for the copping a badge. You know, I appreciate that. This is going to be like pushed away here. If you want to see what I'm drawing, hop over to Twitch. Jordan, let me get back to you. Never read the TMNT Batman, though, when bought it when I was last went to Midtown. Oh, but you have it, which is good. Gotta read Ta-Nehisi Coates' Cat book. Bought it from a small BK comic store. You know what I want to read is I want to read the Intergalactic Empire of fucking Wakanda. That's what I want to read, and I haven't got a chance to read it yet. Oh shit, Apex, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you copping that badge. Holy shit. Yo, everybody who's supporting, man, thank you guys. Like, and what I mean by supporting is everybody who's on this fucking chat, everybody who's on right now live, everybody who is writing things in the chat, asking me questions, getting involved. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. Because you could just be listening to me in the background, and I know it takes energy and time and commitment to do that. Same thing on Twitch. Thank you guys so much for just kind of like being here. I'm not streaming to one person, and I hope I'm adding something to you guys' life. You know what I mean? You know, I'm adding something to your time. Tala Art joined. What's up? Honestly, this new happy music came on, and I didn't notice it, but I'm liking it. It's reminding me of some old school Sonic. I've been thinking a lot about the good old days. Man, thinking a lot about the good old days, you know. And hearing the Sonic thing is so interesting. Let's see, suggest a poll. Pick a drawing topic. I'm looking at my darkness thing, so on Twitch, you get these things called channel points, and I created my own channel point version called Darkness. And you accumulate darkness, and you can spend your darkness points for stuff. And I thought I had solve a Rubik's Cube on here, because I have my little Rubik's Cube here in this good little brain thing that I like doing. Good to know we're not alone. Yeah, man, it is good. It's good to be a part of a community. I really want to do that. I really like building a community. That's why at the end of my chats on Twitch, I allow for a good like 5 to 6 minutes for the community to chat. I'm debating on doing a Discord, but it's like, am I going to be as active on my Discord? Am I going to be able to comment with people? But then I'm also thinking like the Discord is not, if I create one, it won't be about me. It'll be about the community. And I'll specifically have a tab for people offering things that can help other people, right? Whether it's offering your services or offering a new link or offering a new thing, you know what I mean? Saw that in there, never mind, remember you saying it's not there. Yeah, I did have a Rubik's Cube thing in here, but maybe my chat window's not long enough for me to see it in the message. Truth and emo, that's all. You could draw and suggest a poll. I'm gonna make that back again. The Rubik's Cube thing. I was also thinking about going on, and I play chess at the end of the night, so people who know me know I like chess. So right before I go to bed at like 2 a.m., I'll start playing a chess game because my mind is still raring, and I kind of like, I don't know, it gives me these really acute dreams where I'm like really active in my dreams. But I've gotten pretty good now playing against the computer, and I was thinking about doing a live where I'm just chatting with you guys playing chess, and I think that'd be really fun to do. Never mind, I remember you saying it's not there. Cool. United Black Heroes, what's up? Thanks for joining the chat. Alright, so I think this is a little bit of enough of a sketch. I think what I'm gonna do now is just probably add another layer, a multiply layer. I just need to look at the source material again one more time. What he's asking for again, the name. Oh man, I gotta go ham with this symbolism here. What's up? What are we talking about? What am I drawing? Hop over to Twitch, One Magic. You want to see what I'm drawing? Hop over to Twitch. Oh shit, Anyi's on here. Anyi, before you hop off, what is up? How you doing? I'm gonna tell you something right now. Anyi's not gonna take any credit for this, but if in the next couple of years, you know, or in the next year, if you get an announcement that I have a show, everybody needs to go over and thank Anyi. You need to go to his page and send him a message, a thank you message. And if you see him in person, you need to shake his hand, because he's going to be a real big deciding factor on, if I make it to the ranks of getting my own show, at some point, he's going to be, instrumental to that. Anyi, thanks for hopping in, man. I appreciate you if you're still here. Because now I do want to create a star here. This is part of this guy's character. Apex, once again, man, shout out to you, Apex, shout out to Sam, shout out to Kat. Thank you guys for hopping on and copping a badge. John, what's up? I'm getting icon vibes from the face mask. Hey, that's dope. Thank you. The dude's name is Warstar. So I'm actually gonna try to do a star on the chest. The client didn't ask for that, but I'm gonna be very candid. I do a lot of shit that clients don't ask for sometimes, because sometimes like they don't really know. And this is gonna sound fucking really pretentious. But sometimes, dog, they don't know what they want, man. Like it's real talk. Like they don't fully know, because like it's not their specialty. And the one thing I've learned being an art director is sometimes you have to impose your expertise, like your specialty, onto like the project. So like I think, you know, the character's name is Warstar. There's ways that we can add it in, you know, very subtly or even stronger, and, you know, hide certain elements where hide or highlight certain elements that, you know, will add to the narrative. So I think the star thing, you know, really will really help. I think, you know, that will really help enforce it. And I like to look at other comic book characters and see how I can make things a little bit different. But I don't want to make them complicated. People always fall into that trap of a character design when making things very complicated. And, you know, simplicity is the essence of sophistication. You don't need to go OD, you know what I'm saying, to get a very complex idea across. And you don't need to make it overly complicated. One of two things happen. It's very hard for you to do your story because your characters are fucking, you know, all over the place. And then it's hard for it to be, you know, sold as an animation to a degree, because, you know, who's going to want to animate if there's a bunch of stuff that's going on? So at least you want to have things that are rememberable to your audience as well. Think about, like, will someone dress up like this, you know, for a Halloween costume? You also have to be considering the different mediums that it may be getting used, you know, what that roughly is going to look like. You know, consider like your you know, your positive and negative space and stuff like that, and play around with it. I want to give a shout out to John too, man. John MX is actually streaming right now, but John and them, they hop on and they're in here hard body, and they're asking questions and they're engaging, and it helps that the streaming process, man, go a lot longer, a lot further, you know, if you will. Sneak Geek Official, thanks for hopping on. Yo, that's Mothman. All right, I got a funny story, right? I'm in Kunakania. It might not even be funny. I'm in Kunakania, looking around, and I think I was shooting for Black Anime, my book or whatever, and then bump into this random kid, and we're just like talking about anime, whatever. I show him that I draw. A super cool kid follows me, follow him back, whatever. I think his mom works in New York. It's like a teacher or something like that. The kid just ended up being mad cool, and now we're just kind of friends, constantly checking on each other's stuff. That's the Mothman. Random kid, just was super cool, and then I met him while I was shooting the stuff for Black Anime, you know? Yeah. You see, it's just crazy how you just meet people randomly, you know? If you're open to meeting people randomly, you know what I mean? Oh shit, chat's moving quick now. You seen Avatar: Legend of Korra? I have, and I like it. I know it's not popular to like Legend of Korra, but I like Legend of Korra. I like Legend of Korra. I like the martial arts in it. I like the story of the fact that she needs to spiritually awaken throughout her entire thing. I do think there was some weird stuff in the series. I do think the stakes got played with to some degree. But her post-traumatic stress shit from losing her avatar state and her having to build herself back up, her meeting Beifong and shit, I thought was really good. You know, I liked it. John, LL, no problem, bro. Yeah, I got like multiple streams up right now. I'm hopping around. That's good, man. I be doing that shit too. I have like 4 different Twitch streams up. And it's just about the community, man, just kicking it. You know, that's why I was thinking about starting a Discord, because it won't really be about me. It'll be about the community, and the community will just do shit. And like, you know, if I create a community, it's about uplifting people. And it's like really just being like, yo, Like for example, I have this app called Pushbullet. It helps me put all my shit onto like my Insta and everything else like that. I always tell people about Pushbullet because I'm like, yo, this shit is crucial, you know, to like me being able to upload and do a lot of stuff. And I want my audience to or my community to kind of do the same, to go in and be like, hey, I found this really cool thing to make cool like art TikTok transitions, right? And we just all start winning. You don't realize, man, you can go really far if you do shit together. Korra's animation was crazy, like 18,000 drawings an episode. Yeah, but there's a lot of shows that are like that. There's a lot of shows that are just have like, you know, that don't get their props for having, you know, a shit ton of drawings. The setup for the whole Avatar series was crazy too, because they would have to shoot in the gym. They'd have like 4 cameras set up around the dude doing a move, and then they would like cut some of those and use that for storyboarding, and then the storyboarding artists would go in and like fuck with it and stuff like that, and then like redraw it, and then the martial arts dude would try to recreate it or see if he can actually do it, if it's like possible. They had a wild process. The drawing itself was like the middle of that. It started so much before then. Legend of Korra is dope. I loved it. Korra is such a great character. I like her. Pushbullet was my thing before Apple set up. Yeah, I think you might have told me about Pushbullet. I just threw it on all my devices. That's Jordan Martin's. I think he put you onto that. Yeah. Most definitely need to check that app out. Yeah, it's crucial, man. I have it on my phone and my laptop, or I have it on my browser, and so no matter what device I'm on, I can always use it. I'm weary of boot designs, like doing characters that have like different kind of boots. But it's too weird to do a superhero suit and just the shoes are one color. You know? Alright, let's go to some references. Someone brought up Icon. And Icon has different color shoes, but he also has different color gloves too. I think Icon needs a redesign, man, in my opinion. Oh shit, is this 27? No, tomorrow's Tuesday's the 27th, and I think the new milestone drops, and I think hardware drops tomorrow, and I'm gonna get that because I got the issue of Static Shock, which I think is pretty good. Some people have static with it because, pun intended, pun not intended, but some people have issues with the new Static because he seems a little too cool and he seems a little too like put together, but you know, I feel like it's more reflective of the times. Also, people were upset about like it being a Black Lives Matter rally instead of it being a gang thing, and I just think that comics reflect the political climate of the times. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. It's a fact. If you don't know that, you don't read a lot of comics. Sorry to fucking tell you. Yeah, I mean, I like the update so far. You know, I think it's working for me, so. Maybe we do that. Maybe we just paint the shoes and the hands. This is where highlights. You know, I am a fan of like the stripe though, like getting a stripe on the side. I think it'd be really fire. Kind of like this, the War Star, and then having the lines carry down. I don't have a line across the top, but I think, you know, I might illustrate this to the client and just be like, yo, this is what I think it could be. This seems pretty cool. Maybe it cuts at the hip, you know. I don't know, it's fucking interesting to me. He's probably gonna want it blue considering the abilities are blue. But let me take this off and we'll just alter it using. Oh, I forgot I have this now. I'm sure it's Control H, right? Maybe it's Alt H. Let's see. Control H. No. Bad. It's Control U. There we go. Oh, preach, brother. Yay. What up, United Black Heroes? Oh, you want to go live? I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on, bro. Or else, like, if I go live with you, I'm probably going to be on for a minute. They mad now. Virgil no longer was where's my hug ass dude. Yeah, that's basically it. You know, I've heard people just kind of be like, his hairstyle's too cool. His dad has been teaching him how to fight. And so, like, there's parallels to that for me, because, like, my dad trained all of us. You know what I'm saying? From my oldest brother to me, like, we all got trained in fighting. We all went to martial arts. We all, you know, like, we all were capable. And so it was interesting because my dad was also in law enforcement, and so was Virgil's dad. So, like, Virgil training his son, to me, to some other people, that was, like, far-fetched. And I'm like, not for me. Like, that was my experience. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing is, like, I wasn't, like, a nerd-ass nigga. I was into, like, I was kind of wilding to a degree, like some other people, but, you know, but beyond that, like, the training and everything else like that was my dad. My dad was on top of my school shit, like, had a thin blue line around him too, because he's in space, man. I'm gonna pull the Green Lantern kind of. I got a blue shroud around the business. I like this. I like the X across here. Feels like a star. You got the W straps. I wanted to do two commissions this evening, but our conversation was fucking popping, so, you know, it is what it is. I'll take it. We need another live again, fam. Yeah, people like the live, dog. It was good. It's cool, bro. It's your live. We can do another one when you want, if you want. Yeah, for sure, man. We got to get on here early again too, dog. Cause like I said, people like that live, man. We got to keep people inspired. We got to keep our community inspired, man. After hearing Black Ramen podcast being like, yo, your lives got me wanting to pick up a pencil and drawing, and I keep putting it down, but when I'm on, I like want to pick up a pen and draw, and I'm like, we have to do that for each other. Like, for real, we really got to keep each other motivated and going into, like, making impact. Like, you know, it's just super important. LOL, we gonna spar live on Twitch one of these, once the subs are up. Yo, do a subathon. Taekwondo versus I forget your training. Yeah, I've rooted training in Taekwondo. That's what my trophy is for. But, you know, I also do, I roll a bit too, so a little bit of ground jiu-jitsu, boxing, heavily into boxing, kickboxing, and Muay Thai. So my brother is trained in Muay Thai, you know. But yeah, I can stand up grapple and I can ground grapple, you know. I got a couple submissions under my belt, so. Anybody look into African martial arts? They're cool as hell. Yeah, it's done. 52 block is Black American. Dembe Igba, Imba, Nigeria. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, I've been on it for a while, man. That's where, like, you know, Iku has the Ikwa, and there's a lot of like the Ikwa, the Ada. There's a lot of African bladed weapons that I use because I try not to use katanas anymore and stuff like that. Because, like, you know, I love katanas, I love Japanese culture, but like, you know, black people got a lot of cool shit that we have, and I want to highlight that too, get people on it. So a lot of cool shit worldwide. That's so amazing. Thanks. Seen Igba videos, yeah. Black Ramen was spitting game. She was. A Guardly manga, I roll, but different type of rolling. Yeah. Yeah, man. You got. Honestly, I feel like because 80% of fights go to the ground, everybody should know. Everybody should have a bit of a ground game. Like, you should know. You should know and practice the fundamentals. Like, if you get on the ground, you should always be using your body weight against your opponent. And people think that is like mounting them or whatever, but that's like literally like if you can basically get a good like side mount, top mount or whatever, and you can actually lean your body weight, like put your forearm or, you know, like create some good discomfort like from the top and dropping your body weight on them, you're gonna win most fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to know how to submit somebody or whatever. Hold on. I don't know if it's like a storm next to my crib. I'm hearing a bunch of shit. Yeah, like if you got a good ground game, like you're gonna survive most street fights if you're not getting jumped. You know what I'm saying? Because like all it takes is just one grapple, one dude to kind of fall over, and then that's it. And if you're somebody who doesn't have a ground game and you're fighting a motherfucker that does, even a light one, it feels like you're swimming with a fucking it feels like you're a human swimming with a shark. Like, it's a whole fucking different thing. I remember rolling for the first time and just being like, like, this shit is crazy. Because most of the street fights that I was in, most people don't have a ground game. And so I'm thinking like, yo, I got chops. Like, I've competed, I've been in street fights, I've been jumped, I've jumped people. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I got this. And then you fight somebody with real ground game, somebody that got like, you got 30 pounds on, and you're like, oh shit, like this shit's crazy. You know, you really don't know what you're doing. That's why I respect you so much. You've been paying major respect to our culture and ancient history. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You know, out here just trying to do all right. So I did, you know, I've been on for 2 hours. I did show a little bit of something on here that I feel like could be cool. You know what I can do? If I'm not gonna go on to my next sketch and it's not gonna happen, I can set my base layer for the actual background, because this shit's gonna be cosmic. I'll have to do a bunch of shit now. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna stay on because I got work tomorrow. I am enjoying this stream though. I'm so glad I was able to like get on early and, you know what I'm saying, kind of really get some conversations in. You know what's interesting is like I didn't go to BlurCon, but I know a lot of people have had, you know, things that they wanted to kind of say about it. I was been following the conflicts, and I thought about, you know, having a larger discourse, you know what I'm saying, around it. But at the end of the day, like, I'd rather talk, I guess, more about DreamCon. And I heard that DreamCon was fantastic. And I'm so glad that they did a good job, man, and that it ended up going really well. Because this would be their third year. The first year, people gave them a lot of grace because it's their first con. Then their second con, some people were like, damn, like we should have done more of this, we should have done more of that. Their third one was going to be during the pandemic. And so this one afterwards, like, you know, I was nervous for them because they had gotten some bad reviews, but I just felt like they weren't giving them enough credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need a couple years before, in my opinion, before your comic will be really popping. And I was just seeing all the videos and everything else, and I'm like, I'm so glad they kicked ass at it. I'm so glad it looked that good, man. Yeah, it's just really hyped, really hyped for them, and that, for real. All right, now we're gonna go to some real sprays. All right. Yo, if you're on my Twitch stream right now, you're seeing my secret to making these galaxy backgrounds that I make. So I'm gonna drop into a red. Yeah. Bigger particle size for some of these. All right, let me save this before I be straight assed out. Gotta make a clip of this for TikTok. Yo, you know what's crazy, Jordans? I did one of these really sick TikTok transitions because I'm like fucking with my transition stuff, and I got a really dope cut. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna definitely use this and just start figuring out and just start doing more like the traditional TikTok shit, but with my art stuff, so I can do more clipping, more whatever. I think will be cool, you know. Oof, it's too bright. I'm gonna go more blue here. This is how we're getting some of our star effect. I'm gonna have to come in here, bring in a soft brush. And this is gonna change some depths in these nebulas here. But look at that brightness. There's gonna be a stone that's right there. But look at this background. Just a couple seconds, man. But I love doing these kind of nebulous backgrounds. I rarely ever use a white like star color, You know, and I feel like that helps elevate it. Ugh, I'm bringing in some of these stars here. And I might just draw a nice little, get lined across here. There's a nice little band of stars here. Trying to do this in a way where I am framing my character a bit, because the space around them is going to be highly his color and everything else is going to be highly contrasted. So I think that works. am not. I'm not mad at that. But also interior design shit. Jordan. Gotta yeah, man, I mean, yo, you got the time. And these cradles will be much darker, and they're gonna be lit by blue light here, so I'm probably just doing extra work by even cutting out the silhouette here. For those of you that want to see what I'm drawing, you can hop over to Twitch real quick. I also have video on demand. You can see what I was talking about earlier, later, whatever. Yeah, I'm loving this. I love the nebulas. I think they're framing these boulders really well. It's framing the scene really well. I really like my own stuff, so there's some things that I can do and I've done, you know, a couple times, so it doesn't take me very long to do them. But I've developed like a nice technique to do that. All right, it's 1:12 a.m. and you guys decided to stick around, you know, with me. I want to shout out to the 3 people that copped badges tonight: Apex, Tim Florer, and Kat. You know, thank you guys so much. You know, I really appreciate y'all, you know, supporting me and everything else like that. But viewing is supporting as well. But I appreciate you guys purchasing the badges. For everybody that's been following me on Twitch, and or that's been following along on Twitch, I want to thank you guys too for, you know, watching a still screen for a while, but listening to me talk and stuff. Maybe next time I'll just put my cam on. We could do it just talking. Shout out to Chris Bonnet Man for the sub. Jordan Martins for the Prime sub, Great Galco for the follow. Thoroughly appreciate that. So you guys can hang out for a bit while I come off live. I want to raid somebody. I want to raid a channel. So if you guys are interested in seeing who I raid, stick around for a while as I look and I see who I can raid. You know what I'm saying? PJ still on. I could raid him. Could raid him. I could raid Rika. The interesting thing is PJ is not coming up on my thing. I'm mad because he also doesn't have a profile picture. Has to get a profile picture. Killing me with that. Oh man, I might raid Wolfie. Just because it looks like the dude Drake from Drake and Josh is like giving some type of an apology or something for all the wild shit that he's doing or he's done. That's not art shit. Cynics has enough of a following. He doesn't need to be rated, even though Cynics is dope and I followed some of his tutorials. Rika draws. He's drawn Usagi. And he's been working on this for the past couple days. I'm gonna rate him. I know he already got 66 people following this thing, but another great black creator. And he's drawn Usagi. If you know me, you know Ninja Turtles is one of my favorites. You know, John, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you being on the stream. You can spend your, you know, time is limited. You guys can spend your time anywhere, so I'm very happy you guys spend it with me. You know, I really appreciate that. Let's send these people over to Rika Draws. All right, you guys. Thanks. I love you all. Peace. I always like to hop over to the rating streams and see what they say.
So yeah, and then fucking Low giving like 30 subs, right?
Alright.
So, you know.
Thank you guys for coming on IG and supporting the boy. I appreciate you. I'm hopping off. Thank you. Peace.
I'm a character designer and a concept artist. I do art, games, cartoons, and all that stuff like that. That's our first. Welcome everybody to the stream. You guys want to see more of what I do and the things I make, you guys can follow me on social media at Record Draws or type exclamation point social in the command. Yeah, we got Discord for our stream as well. There's our art Discord. We got some art. Talk about everything in art and more. Everybody's allowed to join the Discord. So just to get that creative one. Exclamation point Discord. What's up? Hopefully the stream was well, Mike Tony. What's up, man? How you doing, bro? John Fire 13 and Black Combs, thank you for the follow. Stream, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. Bruh, why you? Come on, clear us. Say nice shit to other us while you do.